Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I'm taking a look at what was once one of Pennsylvania's largest and most spectacular indoor malls, but is today only a shadow of its former self, Whitehall Mall in Whitehall Township, Pennsylvania. At first glance, you might be thinking that this isn't an indoor mall, it's just one of the thousands of other strip malls or outdoor shopping centers you see pretty much everywhere nowadays. Well, you'd be mostly correct, but hiding within this otherwise boring shopping center are the remains of a once great mall. This mall opened in September 1966. It was developed by Donnelly and Seuss Properties, and it was the first enclosed mall in eastern Pennsylvania. When it opened, there were 52 stores inside the mall, and today, as far as I can tell, the number of stores actually inside the mall has dropped to about 5 or 6. The original anchor stores were Zollinger's, Sears, Weiss Market, Woolworths, and the Plaza Cinema. I believe that the Weiss Market was originally located in the building that currently says Bye Bye Baby, and then they eventually expanded into the Shoe Carnival store. But before that, the Shoe Carnival store was originally Zollinger's. Zollinger's closed in 1978 and was replaced later that same year by another department store called Lee's. Lee's closed in 1997 and was replaced by Gallery Furniture later that year. And I'm not sure when Shoe Carnival moved in. Now come along with me as we take a step back in time into what remains of the old Whitehall Mall. The wall to the right used to be part of the old Zollinger's and Lee's. Here's what this area used to look like back around 1994. It's so quiet. I think we have a dead mall here. The buzzing of the fluorescent lights really adds to the atmosphere. On the right where it says Plaza, that was the Plaza Cinema. It opened in 1966, just a few months before the mall itself. Initially it was only a single screen, but they did eventually upgrade to 2 screens. However, because it was only 2 screens and because it was apparently very out of date, it ended up closing in 1999. And this stairway here is pretty amazing. I would bet this was here on opening day in 1966. It looks like something straight out of the Brady Bunch. And even look at the paint up there, that blue paint. I don't think that's original to the mall, but that's definitely old paint. I really wanted to go up there and take a look around, but then I saw these signs saying no trespassing, private property, you'll be prosecuted, etc. So I didn't go up, but I would love to see what's up there. If anybody has any pictures of what that looks like, or if they know where I can find some, let me know in the comments. Now, this part of the mall that we're stepping into right now, I believe was an addition from 1982. And it honestly doesn't look like they've updated it at all since 1982. All I can hear is the buzzing from the fluorescent lights. And yes, the mall is open. I'm not in a closed mall right now, even though it might look like it. It's quite the bathroom. Oh. And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos coming up. Thanks. From what I read, back in the 80s, where this comic book store is today, used to be an arcade called Spaceport Arcade. Does anybody know what used to be in these vacant stores here? This store just seems to be full of bags of trash. The building that the Kohl's is in today was built during the 1982 expansion. At that time, though, it was occupied by a store called Clover. Clover was there from 1982 until 1996, and then Kohl's moved in 1997. I would bet that the green border going around this store has been here since 1982. I am not sure if this store is still in business or not, because as you see there's a bunch of boxes stacked, and usually you don't have boxes stacked like that in a store that is still open. But I could be wrong. Shortly after this Kohl's opened in 1997, plans were being made to renovate the mall. From what I understand, the mall was pretty out of date at that point and was generally considered the mall where the old people shopped, while the newer and much larger mall across the street, the Lehigh Valley Mall, was considered the cool mall, and that's where all the kids hung out. Some people just wanted to modernize the interior of the mall to make it more like the Lehigh Valley Mall, but what they decided to do instead was tear down approximately, I would say, 90% of the old indoor mall and turn it into the outdoor shopping center we have today. This demalling was completed by 1998, but somehow this part of the mall miraculously survived as if stuck in a time warp, and I'm glad it did. Now let's just take in the ambiance of the mall. This D&M Snacks looks like it's been closed for a very long time. Surprised they left behind the Super Pretzel machine, though. I don't think I've seen one of those in quite a while. So now the question is this a dead mall, a dying mall, or is it doing just fine? Well, I would say the indoor portion of the mall that we're in right now is unquestionably dead. I don't know how anybody could say anything different. This is a dead mall right here. Now, the outdoor section of the mall, or the strip mall section of the mall, that's a little bit of a different story, and we'll get into that in more detail in just a couple minutes when I do my drive around of the mall. And before we head out, let's take a quick look inside the old Plaza Theater. Like I said earlier, it closed in 1999. At some point after that, Gold's Gym moved in, and then Gold's Gym changed names to PA Fitness at some point along the way, and then PA Fitness closed in 2022. Here's a picture of what this part of the theater used to look like, I think, back in the 1960s. Also, just to give you an idea of where the old indoor mall was, it used to go right past this door here all the way to the end of the building, and then down to the right, it would go all the way down to the Sears. So basically a good chunk of this parking lot straight ahead used to be the indoor mall. Here's the old Sears Auto Center. The Sears closed in 2020, and from what I read, the Sears Auto Center closed shortly before that. So this might have been closed in either 2019 or 2020. And as you can see, they're doing construction out there in front of the building. As we'll see in just a minute, it looks to me like they're putting in new windows in the old Sears Auto Center, so I'm guessing they're converting this into something else. Not sure what, though. So I don't think it's going to get torn down. Here's the Kohl's building, which, like I mentioned, was built in 1982, and at that point it was a Clover store. I had to look up Clover, though, because I've never heard of them before. Apparently they never made it to Connecticut, where I'm from, but they were apparently very similar to Target. If anybody here has ever been to a Clover store, let me know what it was like. Alright, so now this is really cool. Take a look at this yellow building here. Look at the top of it. And if you look really closely, you can still see where it says Woolworths. Woolworths, like I said, was one of the original anchor stores, and I think it's probably been closed at least 30 years at this point, so it's pretty amazing that that label scar is still there. And then this is the old Sears building. The Sears closed in 2020, and then in December of 23, so just about 6 months ago, this store called Floor & Decor moved in. Here's a picture of this area back when it was still Sears. As near as I can tell, the old indoor mall started about here. So back before 1998, where I'm driving now would have been inside the mall. So now the question is, how is the outdoor section of the mall doing? Well, this Harmon closed in 2023. The Bed Bath & Beyond also closed in 2023. This massage parlor appears to be open, but then there's what appears to be 2 vacant stores next to it. There's the entrance we went in. Shoe Carnival, I think that's open. Bye Bye Baby closed in 2023. And I think this used to be a Michael's, and it's also closed. And I can't really tell if this Men's Warehouse is open or not. It looks like it might be. So that's either 4 or 5 businesses on the outside of the mall that are still open. And then, again, it looked like either 5 or 6 open inside the mall. So let's say best case scenario, this mall has 11 open stores. That's quite a bit fewer than it had on opening day back in 1966 when it had 52 stores. The building coming up on the left used to be the Zollingers and then the Lee's building. And tell me what you think about this entrance here. These canopies look like somebody took some old steel sewer pipes and cut them in half. And then this was PA Fitness. Before that, it was Gold's Gym. And then before that, this would have been the main outside entrance to Plaza Cinema. And I'm thinking this area must have looked a lot better back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Because right now, it looks pretty terrible. And there you have it. That's Whitehall Mall in Whitehall Township, Pennsylvania. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, but I think I'm pretty confident in saying that this is a dead mall inside and out. There's just way too many vacancies and not nearly enough people shopping here to say it's anything other than dead. But of course, if you disagree, let me know. And if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more mall videos coming up, as well as store walkthroughs and of course flea markets. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.